Hello everyone. Now let's start a new chapter, that is silent features of Indian Constitution. So there are around 15 to 16. Let's discuss all of them. The first feature is the Constitution book is the most lengthiest one, and the constitutions can be either written like ours, or it can be not written, but we have chosen that we will write. And our constitution book is so lengthy. And why it became so lengthy? Because of our country's diversity and influence of Government of India Act. This act you can study in my previous lectures. And because of the single constitution, we have decided that we will not be keeping separate constitution books for executive, legislative, and judiciary. We have thought that we will keep all together once. And the fourth point is layers of lawyers of dominated in the constitution. So basically, at the time when they have made the constituent assembly, in that most of the people were lawyers, and because of that reason also the constitution became so lengthy. And our second point is drawn from various sources. So on this note, Dr. Ambedkar ji sir says that our constitution is the ransacking of all non-constitutions of the world. That means we have read all the constitutions, and from that we have picked which are familiar for us. The first is, let's take an examples like from which what we have taken. From the USA we have taken fundamental rights. From Ireland we have taken directive principles of state policies. And from UK we have taken the cabinet system, parliamentary government, and rule of law. Government of India Act 1955, in which we have decided that we will make a federal system, and we'll make governance, judiciary, emergency provisions, and public service commissions. Okay? And our third feature was it was flexible and it was rigid. Here, rigid means it's very hard to amend. That means once it is fixed, we can't change. Example as USA. And flexibility is where we can even change the laws according to our situations or the generations. But our country has chosen as if it will be both. So how we are going to amend? We will be amending any kind of law which was already there in the MUC. Amendment is basically to change. Okay, we only change on the special majority of parliament, special majority plus state ratification, and special majority of parliament. Okay, and our next feature is it has the both federal system with unitary basis. That means it is federal. Two governments are there in both separately in state and central. But still we will be choosing only the federal system. So what else we can write in the term of federal system? That is, two levels of government will be there, and division of powers in between union, state, and concurrent list. Concurrent list is basically a subject where the government will be involving. And written constitution, supremacy of constitution, dependence, judiciary, and bicameralism. And unitary system is where we have strong center, single citizenship, single constitution, integrated judiciary, governor appointed by the center, all India services. Okay, Union of States is our number one article. Okay, and our next thing is parliamentary form of government. Okay, this can also be known as the responsible cabinet and Westminster model. Okay, so our first thing in that is basically we have set up a government, right? So in that government, what kind of features or responsibilities or roles we have made, that is like the parliamentary form of government. Like, what is parliamentary means, if these are the certain qualities, if it is having, then it would be known as the parliamentary system. Okay, so one is nominal executive, that is president or governor, and the other is real executive. It can be prime minister or minister, or which party gets majority, they will rule. And collective responsibility of to Lok Sabha as well as for the assembly. And ministers are members of the legislature. Okay, and PM and CM are the real leaders. Lower house can be dissolved. Indian Parliament is not sovereign, and India is republic, but whereas Britain is monarch, but we are not the monarch, we are republic people. Okay, and the next thing is synthesis of parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. That means there will be a balance between parliamentary amendments and judicial review. And the next thing is integrated and independent judiciary. First of all, there is a stage of courts where first the supreme, the almighty for all over India is Supreme Court, and for states it is High Court, subordinates courts, and then the district courts. Okay, central, state, the subordinate, and district. Okay, so what is so special about the Supreme Court? Basically, Supreme Court has the federal court, highest court of appeal, guarantor of fundamental rights, guarantor of constitution. Its independence, the people who are there as the judges and the persons, they have the security of their service and fixed service conditions that which they have promised, and all the charges will be under the consolidated fund of India. And its prohibitions is discussion on conduct of judges in the legislature, ban on practice after retirement, power to punish for its contempt vested in Supreme Court, separation of judiciary from executive. The other is three-tier government. Initially, it used to be only center and state, but now in the root level, in the rural level also, they have given the constitutional status such as the panchayats and municipalities according to these two schedules. Okay, and our next thing, the other thing is emergency provisions. If some emergency will be happening to the whole entire country, then the states will be under the control of the center. And what kind of emergencies? It can be a national emergency such as wars or rebellions, and state emergencies such as failure of the constitution in their states, and the to compile with the directions of the center to this failure. And the other thing is financial emergency, ground of threaten to financial stability or credit of India. Okay, and independent bodies, we have four independent bodies. One is election commission, one is comptroller and auditor general, UPSC, and SPSC. What is this election commission of India? We have already discussed. And what is this comptroller and auditor general? He is the person who audits the accounts and the checks of the Supreme Court or the government and their independence. That means what kind of extra benefits they are getting. That is the security of tenure, fixed service conditions, and the expenses from the Consolidated Fund of India, and the protection from the executive interference. And the other silent feature is the single citizenship. Unlike USA, like in USA, they will be having the citizenship in both state as well as to the nation. Here, only to the normal national level, single citizenship will be there, which will be promoting, the federalism in our country and the brotherhoodness. And universal adult franchise, which is basically 18 years and above people should definitely be participating in the elections in the both Lok Sabha elections and the state legislative assembly, such that more amount of fair elections can be happen, uh, irrespective of their caste, religion, sex, and literacy and wealth. They have to must vote. Initially it used to be 21 years in 1989, but then it has changed to 8. Initially, it used to be 21, now it became 18 years, mm, because of the 60th um, constitutional amendment of Act of 1988. And it is a secular state. No specific religion is promoted. Every religion is equal. And these are the details, of every article that which was there. And the other thing is the fundamental duties. Fundamental duties were not there initially in the constitution, but then in 42nd constitutional amendment they have added it, because of the recommendation of Swaraj Singh committee. So in that they have made 7 fundamental duties in order to respect our national flag, national anthem, and to protect our unity and integrity and the brotherhood spirit. And the other silent feature is directive principles of state policies. Ambedkar calls it as novel features, where its aim is to promote social and economic democracy. They seek to establish a welfare state in India, and these directive principles are non justificable, non enforced in courts, and they are fundamental in the governance of country. This you'll be studying in our next classes, and these are the fundamental rights that which you have to focus on to read it. And that's it. Hope I covered every other feature. Thank you so much.